Hello, guests. Welcome to the TV show, Doctors, Dreamers, Miracles. Our first guest tonight is Margaret Ann Bulkley, a woman who disguised herself as a man in order to practice medicine long ago. So Margaret, tell us about yourself.
Well, I was born around 1790. I was born somewhere in Ireland. It was a time when us women couldn't do anything. They couldn't get jobs, drive, or all they could do is get married and stay at home.
That's just terrible. So, you fooled everyone into thinking you were a man, especially with your amazing stick-on mustaches. You even joined the army. How did you accomplish this?
I wore a disguise my whole life, and at the end of my life, the army hid my body so no one would know how I fooled them. I was very successful as my other self.
Now, you weren't just great at disguises. You were actually a brilliant surgeon. What was one of your major accomplishments?
I performed one of the first C-sections where both the baby and mother lived.
That is wonderful. Thank you, Margaret, for taking all those risks in your life and paving the way for women's rights. Thanks for being on the show. Sports history. Baseball legend, Caray. Harry, tell us about yourself.
I began broadcasting on the radio when I was 19 years old. In 1945, I became an announcer for the Cardinals. In 1968, I was actually hit by a car. I broke both of my legs, but I recovered in time to announce the 1969 season. Eventually, I ended up being the announcer for the Chicago Cubs in 1981.
So, what were you most famous for, Harry?
I was known for singing along to Take Me Out to the Ball Game during the 7th inning stretch. I sang the song during 7th inning to put adrenaline in the fans and players, and it did.
Well, it definitely put adrenaline in the players and fans. I know it did, because the players in the dugout were so pumped up after the song. But Harry, the fun couldn't last. You suffered a stroke in 1987. You recovered from that, but please tell us about your unfortunate death.
I died from cardiac arrest on the date of February 18th, 1998. I was at my restaurant with my wife on February 14th, and I fell and hit my head on the corner of the table and was rushed to the hospital. I died 4 days later from cardiac arrest and brain damage I suffered from hitting the table.
So your anniversary is tomorrow of your death. That's so sad. Well, Harry, you will always be known as the voice of the Cubs. Thanks for being here today. Well, audience, that's all the time we have for today. Please join us on our next episode when we interview the man behind Parkinson's disease. Guests, thank you for being here. Audience, thank you for coming to the studio tonight.